All right, y'all, it's Nicola. So before I get started, I said yesterday that I was going to just do Instagram videos. I'm not. I thought about it, and my messages have to get out regardless. So I'm going to continue to release videos on YouTube. I didn't say that I was stopping that. I said that I was having issues with Daily Motion, so I was going to switch to Instagram. But I'm still going to put the videos on Daily Motion. I'm still going to put videos on Facebook as far as sharing the links to Facebook. I'm still going to put videos on YouTube, and I'm going to start doing a collective reading on Instagram. And the reason why I'm doing this because I feel like, and I'm going to be real with you, I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I feel like I'm trying to be silenced. You can't silence me. I have a purpose. I have messages that you have to get out. True enough, my purpose is I am a teacher. But at the current moment, while I'm prepping my material to teach, I am a messenger. So I still have to live within my purpose. With that being said, messages will still be released. So for those of you that are on YouTube, the collective message will still be on YouTube. For those of you that do follow me over to Daily Motion, I still will be releasing the daily elemental readings over there on Daily Motion, and I'll do a small collective reading for Instagram. So that's just how it's going to be. So let's see what messages we have. What messages do we have for the collective? This is for, and this is like the third video. We're just going to move. I don't like the messages, and I'm not saying that as in the messages are in very low vibration. So we are not living in low vibration. So we are going to, the first one was low vibration. I stopped. And the second one, I got to talking and it turned very negative. So I would never release that out. Those are deleted. So let's see what messages we have. This is for January the 18th through the 20th. What messages, what guidance do we have for January the 18th through the 20th? All right. So, angel of a new life. It says, an exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold, okay? Now, the underlying energy from the universe, or the underlying energy for the collective, says angel of the universe. It says you are being encouraged to expand your thinking. And listen, I'm not going to get into the actual message, but that was legit the message. It was legit about changing your perspective, expanding your thinking, and really going toward your true purpose and not staying in low vibrations. I feel like some people are choosing to stay in low vibrations because, for one, it's beneficial to them and it meets their 3D requirements. 5D has your 3D requirements, your spiritual requirements, your emotional, your mental. Listen, when you raise in vibration, all of your needs are met, not just those little things that help you get by. So let's see what messages we have. This is for the collective, January the 18th through January the 20th, 2020. What messages, what guidance do we have for the collective? January the 18th through January the 20th, 2020. This is for the collective. This is for January the 18th, January the 19th, and January the 20th of 2020. What messages, what guidance do we have for the collective? January the 18th through January the 20th. I got some stuff in the works for y'all. All right, anyway, so let's get started. We have the Knight of Cups here, so I do feel like for some of you guys, you are in a space of really wanting to balance your emotions. The Knight of Cups talks about balancing your emotions. The Knight of Cups also talks about the need to balance your emotions, because Knights are very impulsive energy. They're young energy. They're immature energy. Some of you guys could be really moving off emotions at the moment and not really comprehending that emotions are an energy that you can control. Not saying that you detach from them and act like they don't exist, but you learn to understand what they are and you apply them in a healthy and positive way. That's what the King of Pentacles, I mean, not the King of Pentacles, shit. That's what the King, I'm the King of Pentacles, but that's what the King of Cups does. The King of Ducks. The King of Cups understands his emotions, and he is able to detach from them in a healthy way and also apply them in his daily life in a healthy way. The King of Cups can extend his emotions out because he understands the power and the importance of what he feels. Not in a manipulative way, but in a very stable and positive and healthy way. So for a lot of you guys, you could be not in a very controlled manner when it comes to your emotions. So you guys could be flying off your emotions. You could be flying off emotional passion. Not exactly passion, but, you know, some of you guys or me as well back in the day. Now I'm gonna be real with you. I am the King of Cups when it comes to my emotions. But back in the day, them emotions get hurt. Baby, something was popping off. Either that mouth was gonna go, or I might have hit you. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm all right. I understand they are what they are. You embrace them for what they are, and that's how you gain control of your emotions. You feel the emotion, and then you understand what the emotion is and why you feel it. You don't act off of it. It's a very even though the King of Cups is a masculine energy, it's a very feminine type of energy of allowing, and then taking the masculine energy of not acting on it, but gaining control or stability over it in a healthy manner, not detaching. Okay. So with the Four of Cups here, I do feel like someone is in a space of needing to gain some type of control. You see control under there. Someone needs to create a firm foundation within themselves. Now, you could also be holding on to something because it feels secure. The one thing about the Four of Pentacles, if you are in a space of holding on to something because it feels secure, you need to understand the four is a low vibration. Not the number four, but in the tarot, the numbers, like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When it comes to your emotions or anything, the fours are not within high vibration when it comes to the tarot. Now, if you get the 444 in like a synchronicity, that is a message. That is something that is coming through, and even that message is for you to remain secure, that you're being protected. But it's not about keeping something out of security. With the Four of Pentacles, when you are in a space of the Four of Pentacles, you got to understand there are 6 other pentacles that you are not even taking notice to, because you're holding on to those 4 pentacles that you think are creating the stability, but it's not creating fulfillment. So 4 of Pentacles here, 4 of Cups here. 4 of Pentacles here, 4 of Wands here. So for some of you guys, you could also be holding on to a family situation or holding on to something out of comfort. Comfort does not equal abundance or happiness. I'm just going to tell you. So not the Hermit here, which is about discovering, self-discover. It's about going within yourself, finding your inner wisdom. Some of you guys are needing to really trust what you feel within yourself, or go within yourself so that you can identify what you really need to understand moving forward. Some of you guys really need to be in contemplation as to why you're holding on to a situation out of comfort. King of Cups here. King of Cups. So the King of Cups does represent someone that has integrity within their emotions, have their emotions in harmony. Now, seeing the cards that come before this, for some of you guys, you could be holding on to a King of Cups, which is a father figure. It could be your father. It could be someone else's father. It could be your children's father. But you're holding on to this person basically because they bring you comfort. Okay? So let's move forward. Queen of Swords here talks about seeing truth, seeing clearly. Some of you guys are needing to see the truth of a situation. Someone else could also be holding on to you because it's secure to them. Sometimes as human beings, especially when we're in a low vibration or we're in our ego state, we hold on to things that appease our ego and not appease our soul. So essentially you become empty, because your soul is what fills the void within you. It is the fire that burns within our body. The physical body is only a house for our soul. So for some of us, when we're in this ego state, we do things to appease the body, do things to make us feel secure on the 3D, not understanding that the 3D dissipates. The 3D, life and death, that's the cycle of 3D. So even within situations that we think bring us comfort, those situations will come to an end if they're not in a high vibration. In high vibration, there is no ending, there is no time, there is nothing that keeps us bound. Some of you guys, and this is the same message, I should have kept the other two. Some of you guys are acting out of the ego, acting out of impulsive or immature emotions, holding on to a situation or holding on to something out of comfort, needing to be discerning of the truth, needing to see clearly. Okay, some of you guys, and I feel like your perception may not be flawed. You may know that you're holding on to a situation out of comfort, and that may be okay because it appeases your ego. But like I'm telling you, the ego fades. So with the Six of Cups here, this does represent someone basically living in the past. This could also be for some of you guys past energy. Some of you guys this could be like I'm gonna be real with you. This could be like daddy issues with the Six of Cups and the King of Cups. Some of you guys could be holding on to either your father or a father figure because of the comfort that you have around a situation. There is a need for you to really go within yourself, contemplate, what am I in this situation for? What do I keep repeating the same cycles for? Am I acting off my highest integrity emotionally, or am I acting off my emotions in an impulsive manner? So with the Six of Swords here, some of you guys really need to be in a space of balancing your heart and balancing your mind, moving toward peace for yourself. Sixes represent balance. The Six of Cups does represent the need to no longer embrace things of the past. This is somebody that is romanticizing the past and really needing to transition moving forward. So some of you guys could legit be holding on to a situation based off your past history in dealing with either men or, and this, listen, this isn't a woman or a man. I'm not saying that this is a woman that has daddy issues, because men have daddy issues too. Do not get it twisted, okay? Men have fucking daddy issues. Some men hold on to situations based off what they either saw from their daddy or the lack of their father being around and not wanting to follow in those footsteps. But what you do is you create codependencies within yourself, because you are not your father. You are your own entity. Whether you are a woman or a man, you are your own entity in this life, meaning you make decisions based off what your highest vibration is, or what your purpose in this life is. You don't make decisions based off another person's either decisions or mistakes. So for some of you guys, you're needing to mentally transition into your own path, see the bigger picture instead of focusing on things from the past. So Ace of Swords here, look at this, mental clarity. Some of you guys need to see the bigger picture, but you know what's the problem here? 6 + 1 is 7 swords. Some of you guys or some of you women have unstable thoughts and even are dealing with unstable efforts, and there's a mental clarity around that. But whatever you're dealing with, again, appeases your 3D. It appeases what you want to feel physically on earth, and not opposed to what you really need to experience on this earth. We are here as spiritual beings experiencing a human experience. Don't get lost in the human experience and forget that you're a spiritual entity, okay? Just being real with you. Queen of Pentacles here. I feel like for some of you guys, you know what creates true comfort and prosperity. Some of you guys know what creates true comfort and prosperity. You're really in control of a situation because it brings security, but you have clarity. And I saw that in the other picture. I mean, in the other reading. Whoever this reading resonates for, it may resonate for you, it may not. Someone is in a space of seeing the bigger picture, knowing what's going to bring true comfort and true prosperity within their life, having mental clarity, but still at a space of being stuck based off temporary or 3D earthly desires. Can I get lost in this ego-driven type of energy? I haven't released the readings yet, but I did, out of all of the readings I did, and I only got 4 more to do. A lot of them had to do with waking up, having ascensions, realizing that you are living in a 3D experience as a spiritual being. You are forgetting your true purpose and your true path. This is a time for us to really realize, open up, and become who we're meant to be. So the outcome we have for this weekend, 10 of Wands. Listen, I know y'all don't want that to be your outcome, feeling oppressed and feeling burdened. But for some of you guys, you're dedicated to the responsibility, and it's creating burdens, or it's creating burdens within your life. You have to choose. You have to make a decision to bring balance into your life by moving away from imbalanced situations. You have to choose to get in the right path within your life by moving away from the wrong one. I did a meme like last year, and it was like, choose the life that you want. Choose what you want to feel in this life, and then turn away everything that's not that. Some of you guys are not even focusing on what you want because you're dedicated to the responsibility of what you have. Responsibility does not equal freedom, does not equal happy. A lot of you guys are needing to take responsibility for the burdens that are within your life, and understand that those burdens are not your burdens. Some of you guys need to just free yourself. Balance your emotions so that you can really be clear moving forward in your life. 6 is here. With the star energy under here, some of you guys, you're hoping that you can move toward balance. We got 3 6s here. 6s represent balance. But some of you guys are, and listen, 6, and before I say this, for those of you like, oh, 666, that's the mark of the devil. It's not. 666 is the mark of the beast, the carbon copy of human beings, the physical form of you. So some of you guys are living as human beings, which you're supposed to live as human beings, but you're not moving in your spiritual purpose. You're choosing to stay in a physical type of perception or a physical type of energy, and that is low vibration. I'm sorry. Physical desires, even though they can be, there's nothing wrong with physical desires. There's nothing wrong with desiring things on the physical plane, but it's about desiring them in a high vibration and understanding that you do not have to stay in a low vibration in order to be happy or in order to be appeased. Some of you guys are basically in the state of, as long as I have what I need right now, I'm okay, which is not, that's a mindset that needs to dissipate. You don't have everything you need if you're not in your spiritual path. You will never get everything that you need if you don't allow yourself to be abundant and receiving it. Abundance is free. There's nothing that is binding you to anything. That is a spiritual type of energy that brings true freedom, true prosperity, true happiness. When you're living in a 3D, you basically live off of fear, obsessive type of energies, codependencies. Also, it's also like, how do you say? Think about the ego. The ego is all about right now. Like, let me get what makes me happy right now. So that can even be like an addiction. It can be just like, I want this at the moment. I don't care about the repercussions later. I just want this for right now. And this is the type of energy that this is. So some of you guys are living in that energy. Make me happy right now. I don't care about being happy tomorrow. All right. So that's, I mean, if that's what makes you happy, that's your decision. I can't make you change your vision. I can't make you change how you see things. But let me explain something to you. When you're living in the 3D, life will make you see what you're doing wrong. The universe only gives you what you are giving yourself or what you are extending out to yourself. If you refuse to ascend and move toward anything that is higher than what you have, which is the negative or fear-based type of energy that you have, the universe just gonna keep giving you stuff to keep you in that energy. If you live out of fear, the universe gonna keep giving you stuff to make you scared. If you live out of necessity, the universe gonna make you survive out of necessity. So you choose what vibration you live in on this earth. So with the Four of Pentacles here, I do feel like there is a sense of control because someone feels like this is what makes them secure. Why is this Four of Pentacles here? Why is this Four of Pentacles here? Just forget them other Six Pentacles, huh? the balance to the control. You know what I'm saying? That brings true wealth. Page of Swords. This sense of control is creating a delay in your life. It is creating a challenge to your purpose. Three of Swords creating sorrow and heartbreak. Three of Swords is also a mental thing. It's a feeling of being betrayed. Some of you guys feel like you're being betrayed, but it's because you're holding on to a situation because it is secure to you. It's a false sense of security. One of my cards, and I don't know what deck it is, but in one of my cards, there's legit a man that is holding on to, even in the regular Rider-Waite, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but there's legit a man that is holding on to Four Pentacles, and he's holding on to them. He's standing on two rocks, one hand on each like this, and his feet are the same way, so he's basically in a dog position or in like on all fours, holding on to pentacles. Now, the problem that is, he has no room to obtain anything else. He has no room. If he lets go of one of his hands, he falls. You feel me? So some of you guys are legit in that type of energy. I'm just going to hold on to what I got, because if I try to get anything more, I'm going to fail. But you're not. If you let go of what you got 6 other fucking pentacles that you can gain that is going to create wealth. Pentacles are foundation. Pentacles are wealth. Pentacles are health. Some of you guys need to release the reins, let go of control, so that you can have true wealth and abundance. You are, and what's crazy is some of you guys are clearly in this state of knowing this, but you're still wanting to hold on to something out of control. You know the truth. The truth is already there. But Nine of Cups here, this is almost like someone in a selfish type of state. Nine of Cups is talking about true happiness. But some of you guys, you've been investing into a situation so long, you're just in the space of, I'm just going to hold on because this is what I have. Whether this is a job, a relationship, or just the energy that you have in life, that is not an abundant energy. That is a stuck energy. That is an energy that will not give you anything but what you, with the Four of Pentacles, you can't gain anything else. You only have what you have. Even with the Rider-Waite, he's got a pentacle on his head, which means he's not receiving any messages. He's not receiving any intuition, anything from the higher realms. He's got pentacles here, and he's holding them with his hands, so that means he's covering up his heart. There's nothing that can come in and out, and he's got pentacles under his feet, meaning he can't even move. So he's basically stuck in suspension, or stuck because he's holding on to something because he feels like, this is mine. I have to hold on to what is mine, not knowing that God is granting you so much more. So with the Four of Wands here, this is all based off comfort. Someone has made plans to try to be comfortable. But again, even with the Four of Wands, the Wands represents creativity. You're holding on to something that you created, not understanding that that's a small project, as opposed to moving toward 10 Wands, which is creating or dedicating yourself to something that you're creating. Some of you guys, you're holding on to these 10 wands, which is the oppression or the responsibility, instead of releasing the wands and allowing yourself to be free. Wands represent creativity. Some of you guys, you've created something that you feel is stable, but it's not. It's only out of your own security. You just become comfortable in this type of energy. So why is this Four of Wands here? And just because you're comfortable doesn't mean it's because, listen, even with this Four of Wands, I just said 10 of Wands. First card pop out. So this comfort that you created is a burden. It is a burden. For some of you guys, you need to find your motivation. Chariot here, Six of Wands, to move forward toward victory. That's the truth. And even with, listen, take away this 10 wands that just popped out. 4 wands plus 6 wands is 10 wands again. So either way it go, what you've created out of comfort that you feel is secure to you, is only a burden to you. You have to find your motivation to move forward from that. You have to find the motivation to bring balance to imbalanced situations. And the only way to do that is to walk away from imbalanced situations. Some of you guys, you've had a lot of patience. You need to release the expectations. 3 of Wands represent expectations. Some of you guys are in the space of resisting moving toward anything else because you are expecting to fail, or you're expecting to not have the security. Some of you guys, this is like, whatever you're choosing in your life is like your security blanket. You're like, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's like you're a child or a baby that feels as though they're going to die if someone takes away that little blanket. When in actuality, the baby doesn't die. He may cry for a minute, but eventually even the baby forgets about that damn blanket. Think about it. Unless you are that parent that lets that child grow up with that funky ass blanket for the rest of their life. But the child, even with think about with the pacifiers. So only one of my kids, I'm going to be real with you, only one of my kids was on a pacifier. My first son was on a pacifier. When I seen how dependent they become, no, my child's not going to be dependent on a fucking pacifier. My son was like 6 months old when I took the pacifier away. And mind you, he didn't even stay on it that long. But I noticed when I took that pacifier away, my kid would raise hell. And I was like, there's no way that my son has a need for this plastic piece of bullshit in his mouth in order to be comfortable. That's not something that is healthy in regards to, and even at the time I wasn't on the spiritual path, I just knew that's not healthy for my son to only find comfort in this damn pacifier. So when I had my other babies, I never put them on a pacifier. When they were a baby, I didn't even put them on a pacifier. I put my fucking finger in their mouth before I give them a pacifier, or I just, coddle my baby. Now, the last one, I think I did, coddled him too much because he's spoiled as fuck. But I couldn't see my children having to be codependent on that little plastic piece of shit that could hurt them. I mean, it can harm them. It can choke them. They can bite off especially when they get older, they can bite off the little plastic shit, swallow it, all that shit. That's too much for me. I'm one of those parents. I'd rather you not have it. And I teach my kids how to comfort themselves in a healthy way. So even my children now, they know how to comfort themselves in a healthy way without having to be dependent on something to bring comfort or bring joy to them. I knew even then. So this is kind of like the energy that, I'm sorry, some people are having, the energy of needing to have something that is of the external for them to bring comfort or happiness, when in actuality that happiness and that comfort is something that you produce within yourself. You have to be able to stand firm in your own foundation, create comfort for yourself, and not choose to hold on to something that is on the external that is not benefiting you, because this ain't benefiting you. It's a burden. But having that in order to bring worth to your life, or in order to bring happiness to your life. So with the Hermit here, I feel like this is a state of where you're needing to really discover yourself. You're needing to go within the darks of yourself. Understand Why do I need this false sense of security here in order for me to be comfortable, or in order for me to feel like I have what I deserve or have what I desire? And mind you, a lot of times, a lot of times people get in the space of, why am I not, why am I not excelling? Why am I not getting what I desire? Why am I not, I'm putting these manifestations out. I'm not getting what I want because we're afraid to let go of what we have. Like I always say, and I will continue to say, if you're manifesting, say for instance, because love is a big thing. If you're manifesting high vibration love in your life, but you're dealing with someone that is in low vibration, you're not going to get the high vibration love that you're manifesting, because you're choosing to put that person in that space of your manifestations. Even if they don't match, this is what you're choosing to do. And a lot of times you get all the signs and signals that you need to move away from the situation, but you stay. For those of you that want higher paying jobs, you want to create more abundance, more prosperity in your life, but you're choosing to stay stuck in the bubble that you've created, the safety net that you created around your career or around the job that you have, you're not going to receive the abundance because you're choosing to have that space. And I know, listen, I know it's scary to let go of something that you have, to move towards something that you haven't even seen. But that is the faith. That is walking by faith. That is walking by God's grace. That is trusting the universe to give you what you desire. A lot of times you're not going to get what you're manifesting because you're trusting the universe enough to hear your manifestation, but you're not trusting the universe enough to work in your favor. You have to let go, and you have to let the universe do what it do. And listen, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be pretty all the time. The universe don't give a fuck about your emotions. They care about getting what you are manifesting and putting you in the right vibration, putting you on the right path. Spirit don't have no emotions. Only humans do. And our emotions are put here to guide us. If something doesn't feel good to us, that is a definite indication that we need to change that situation. If something feels good, then that's a good indication that you maybe feels good in a high vibration. There's a difference between having your 3D needs met, meaning something that physically feels good, and something that emotionally and mentally feels good to you. You feel what I'm trying to tell you? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So with the Hermit here, this is about going within yourself, following your higher guidance, and really becoming wise, okay? So with the Seven of Swords here, some of you guys have very much been in the space of lying to yourself, having unstable thoughts, unstable efforts here, Nine of Swords, having anxiety. You're needing to master these things. With the Page of Pentacles here, this is about understanding your true worth. For a lot of you guys with the Moon card in reverse, you're lost deep into yourself. You're lost deep into the dark night of yourself, and it's creating Five Swords. It's creating conflict, mental conflict. It's creating mental challenges within your life. Some of you guys are making unwise choices based off this fear that you are holding on to yourself. With the Tower under here, you need to release that fear. You need to face your own fears. So some of y'all do need to go within yourself. You do need to go within. Meditate, contemplate, do what you got to do to figure out what's within the right vibration for you, because obviously whatever you're dealing with or holding on to is not. You started off the reading with Fourth, which is being boxed in. Some of you guys are boxed into a situation because you feel as though it's secure, but you're holding on to it, so you have the power to let it go. Why is this King of Cups here? I feel like some of you guys need to have integrity within your emotions. This King of Cups has integrity on it, and I said before, the King of Cups is about understanding those emotions and utilizing them in a healthy and positive way. That's what the King of Cups does. Some of you guys understand your emotions, but you're not being honest about what you feel. Why is this King of Cups here? 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 Queen of Pentacles here. So some of you guys, you're really needing to be in a space of nurturing yourself. You're needing to be in a space of allowing things to blossom in your life. The Queen of Pentacles is all about nurturing foundations. She's about really, and the foundation may be yourself, because when you talk about Pentacles, Pentacles can talk about a actual like foundation, a job, a household, or it can be talking about your own body. So some of you guys really need to be in a space of nurturing yourself, or it looks like nurturing your emotions. Now, I do feel like with the Queen of Pentacles, this is about looking at a situation sensibly, really making a compassionate decision for self, because that's what the Queen of Pentacles does. All the queens are about self, and I know that may sound selfish. It's not. You have to focus on self in order to master self. And the kings are talking about mastering of the self. So the queens are in a space of focusing on self. You need to be in a space of focusing on your own foundation, nurturing your foundation and being compassionate to self in order for you to really have integrity within your emotions. With the Knight of Pentacles here, for some of you guys, you're very much in the space of being methodical. I feel like you know that you're needing to be in the space of putting some things in motion, because Ace of Swords, you have the bigger picture. But the Seven of Cups, you may have been confused in the past with the Nine of Pentacles here, confused about what is secure for you, confused about how to secure your own abundance. The way to secure your own abundance is, again, to nurture yourself, to look at a situation sensibly and make a kind and understanding decision about something. So let's move on to the next row here. We have the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords, you have the King of Cups there with the Queen of Swords. Some of you guys need to be in a space of really seeing the truth. Okay, the Queen of Swords is all about seeing truth. She's about seeing truth and clarity and making decisions off that. She cuts away things that do not serve her because she's very much in the space of allowing her perception to be the real perception or the clearest perception that it can be. The Queen of Swords is about clarity. She's about being discerning in regards to a situation. Some of you guys are needing to see the truth of either the past in order for you to move forward, or see the truth that you may be romanticizing a past and really needing to bring balance to your own thoughts with the Six of Cups and the Six of Swords moving forward. Why is this Queen of Swords here? We have the Nine of Wands. So some of you guys, the truth of the situation is that you need to persist in moving away from the past and moving forward. The Queen of Swords here is about seeing the truth that you are in a battle right now. Some of you guys are battling with your own truths. You're battling with your own perception about a situation. Tower. This is about release. Some of you guys are in a space of needing to release in order for you to be able to move forward. There's a lot of conflict. You know the truth, but you're conflicted within your own passions. Some of you guys are conflicted about walking away and releasing the situation. Tower, Five of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. But you have to be discerning of what you allow in your energy, because what you allow in your energy is what you become or what you embrace. For those of you, like I'm telling you, if you're in a conflicting type of energy, you're dealing with people that create conflict in your life or create bothersome details in your life, this is something that you allow. If you allow it into your energy, you embrace it into your energy, and this is what you become. You have to be discerning of what you allow. Even me, I go through situations where I have to detach from the people around me because they have negative or low vibrations, because this is not who I am. I cannot partake or entertain in those vibrations because this is not who I want to represent to the world. I can't do that. If I choose to be in those low vibrations, I become those low vibrations. I mean, you are what you associate. I know people like, oh, you know how they say birds of a feather flock together? Listen. If that's your tribe, that's your tribe. That's what you're presenting to the world. People want to always say, no, that's what my friend do. I don't do that. But yes, you do, because even by perception of others, if your friend, and excuse my language, but if your friend a hoe, you a hoe, because y'all are communicating about this together. Y'all are entertaining this together. If your friend messy, you mess, because you're listening to the same things that they're talking about. You have to make decisions within your life to choose better, higher vibrations. And that does require you choosing better and higher vibration people around you. If you cannot choose higher vibration people around you, then you have to choose to be in solitude. This is about protecting your own energy, seeing the truth and clarity of the situations you're putting yourself in. Some of you guys, you need to release other people. Five of Wands talks about other people with conflict. Some of you guys are needing to really raise your own emotional or your own spiritual vibration by walking away from conflicting situations that create conflict or create obstacles within your life. Trying to tell you, the only way you're gonna learn, if you don't make those decisions on your own, the way that you learn is when it turns around and bites you in the ass. Because let me tell you, we've all had that one friend that we was kikiing, cacaing with, messy, having fun with, and then eventually that shit turned on you. Because listen, they don't have no restrictions. And I've had people that when I was in my petty days, we was petty together. You feel what I'm trying to tell you? But as soon as I severed those connections or moved away from those connections, those people became petty with me. And it was like, damn, I thought we was cool, but no, we weren't. We were cool while we were in a low vibration. Once you choose to raise your vibration, there's no longer anything that you have in common. So you have to be in a space of making decisions that are best for you. Some of you guys, this could deal with childhood friends, because the Six of Cups does talk about childhood friends. It talks about memories from the past. It even talks about people that you've known or have children with. So why is the Six of Cups here? Why is the Six of Cups here? Two cups. This is someone from your past. This is a relationship here. For some of you guys, you're needing to move away from an imbalanced emotional relationship. I feel like with the Knight of Cups here and the Death here, in order to move forward, you have to balance your emotions. Some of you guys may be dealing with someone of your past, and you're only dealing with them based on what you feel, knowing with the High Priestess that they may not be in the best vibration. Y'all, knowing with the High Priestess, I haven't even pulled this fucking card. I just pulled this card. Knowing with the High Priestess that you're needing to release that past. You're holding on to something of the past that is imbalanced, and you're aware of that. Double here. Some of you guys know that you're holding on to toxic situations. You're holding on to low vibrations because it's comfortable. And listen, I'm the first to say I held on to a lot of relationships in my past that I should have walked away from a long time ago, because first of all, I'd known them my whole life. I was like, I don't know my whole life. Why am I going to cut that cord when, I love these people. These my people. But my people, just because they my people don't mean that they mean me any good. You feel what I'm trying to say? And I'm just being real with you. Not saying that people in my past have done anything to harm me, but the vibration, if the vibration is not where I need it to be in my current vibration or higher, I have to cut that cord. I have to choose to move forward in my life. I have to evolve. And if the people around me do not want to evolve, just like if the people around you do not want to evolve or are resisting evolving, you have to cut that cord. You have to make the best decisions for yourself. You came into this world by your motherfucking self. I don't care if you was a twin or not. When you came out that womb, it was only you. So you have to make decisions for yourself. Some of you guys are in the space of knowing that you need to cut away something of the past, because here it's clear. It's toxic. It's imbalanced. You're needing to allow the transformation to happen. But there is a sense of resisting that because of the fear of creating more burdens than what you have. You do not create burdens. 10 wands here. You release the burdens by cutting away those toxic connections or that toxic situation. So with the Six of Swords here, this is about transitioning. And the Six of Swords talks about mental balance or insight. So some of you guys know within your own mind that you're needing to transition away from these situations. Why is the Six of Swords here? Five of Pentacles here. So some of you guys know you need to move away from this situation because they're lack situations. They are imbalanced or challenged foundations. Some of you guys with the Queen of Swords, this is about seeing the truth. Emperor here. You know the truth. You need to set boundaries about a situation. Listen, these king and queens, when we do collective readings, this is not about masculine or feminine. This is about energy. So someone needs to be in the energy of being discerning, seeing the truth of the situation and cutting away what no longer serves them, which is these lack situations, which is these challenging foundations. Some of you guys have friendships that are basically challenges. Because you have a lot of toxicity within the friendships. You got a lot of pettiness. You got a lot of going back and forth and keeping a mess. Even if it's a partnership, if you're going back and forth with your partner, y'all arguing, fussing all the time, you can't see eye to eye, that's a toxic connection. Even if there's no actual fighting, that is a toxic type of energy. As high vibration people, high vibration humans, okay, as high vibration souls experiencing this human experience, you have to be composed within yourself, within your thoughts, within your heart, within your passions, within your foundation, and you have to be allowing to make adjustments where they're necessary. If you're dealing with someone that is being conflicting about making adjustments in a connection that you're in, you have to take notice of that. Listen, I know a lot of times, and I'm gonna be real with you, even with my mom and dad have a challenging relationship because neither one of them want to take the role of being the compromiser or being the balancer. My dad has his point of view, my mom has her point of view, and they clash constantly. And this has been my whole life. I, come in, try to be a mediator and let him know, look, mama, he thinks this way. You have to be compromising because this is the way he thinks. My mom like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. This is how I think. That is a toxic trait. Because just because you think a certain way doesn't mean that the person that you're connecting with should fall into alignment with that. Everyone has their own mind, their own energy, their own desires. You have to be accepting of other people's views. Not saying that you take them on as your own, but you have to be accepting enough to understand, okay, I understand your perspective, I understand where you're coming from, so can I speak on my perspective, and maybe we can come to some sort of compromise to where we are both, it doesn't have to be both, I'm happy, so this is good, or I'm happy, so this is good. We are at peace with the situation. It is okay for people to be in a relationship and have a difference of opinion. That is perfectly fine, okay? It's normal because people have different minds. What is not okay is being mad or upset or lashing out at a person because they don't think the way that you think or because they're not acting the way that you act. There is a compromise that has to happen, but there also needs to be receptivity or reciprocity. Sometimes we even get in relationships where we're like, oh, well, that's just the way they are. That is not an excuse for you to lower your standards or lower what you desire or require within your life because that's just the way a person is. Okay, then choose another person. You feel me? You allow the energy that is right within your life. So if some of you guys are bowing down to situations because you're afraid to lose a situation, that is the codependency that you have to adjust within your own life. So even with the King of Cups and the Hermit, some of you guys are really needing to go within yourself about your own emotions. Understand your own emotions so that you can, again, be able to express them or understand them and apply them in a healthy way. So some of you guys, you're dealing with someone that, be honest with you, is very much in control of how they think and not in a way and not in wanting to change that. So some of you guys, 8 of Wands here, 4 of Wands, you have to move away from what was once comfortable. All right, so the Ace of Swords here with the Queen of Pentacles. Why is this Ace of Swords here? This is about having mental clarity. Full energy here. So I feel like some of you guys know that you have a new opportunity. You know that you need to be walking in God's grace. You know that you need to take this leap of faith toward this new life. Justice here. Some of you guys, and look, towards new life. There goes the world. Justice in the world. Some of you guys know the right thing to do is end this cycle. But that doesn't mean that you're wanting to. With the King of Pentacles here, I feel like you need to confidently accept moving forward. Queen of Wands. So this is about being confident about asserting yourself. No longer in a space of questioning your own abilities or questioning your own worth. This is about being motivated to make the best decisions or the correct decisions for yourself in order to put you in the path that you're destined to be in. For a lot of you guys, you know that you have this new opportunity. You know that moving forward grants you a clean slate. It's about trusting that decision, making balanced decisions for yourself. You could be in the space, you've already weighed out the pros and cons. You know that there's a new world that awaits. But for a lot of you guys, you're in a space of just needing to balance your emotions. You're needing to really make decisions that are balanced for you, that are in high vibration for you. So with the Queen of Pentacles here, I do feel like this is about your own comfort and prosperity. This is about being compassionate to your own foundation. Why is this Queen of Pentacles here? We have the Magician here. Some of you guys have to create this by making compassionate decisions for yourself. Again, I keep repeating the same thing. Some of you guys have manifested Ace of Cups, a new potential offer in your life or a new potential situation in your life that will bring emotional fulfillment. Now, this can be a person, place, or thing, but you've manifested this. And you see those 2 wands? This is by your own doing, by trusting your own intuition and choosing to move away from toxic or low vibration situations. With this 10 of Swords here, some of you guys are very much needing to be in the space of embracing the end of difficulties, understanding that you have survived. Listen, you got 2 aces with the Magician here, Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. With the 2 of Swords, some of you guys are at a stalemate right now. You're needing to take the blindfolds off. I feel like for some of you guys, you feel like you're unable or unwilling to make a decision, but you can. You've manifested some comfort and prosperity in your life. You have the capability of moving forward, but you have to put things in motion. The Magician is all about creating a masculine energy of taking action and creating what it is that you desire by, 1, embracing the end of a difficult situation, laying down the burdens of your own thoughts, laying down the actual burdens or responsibilities within your life, and choosing to be abundant and free in order to obtain new energy. So I don't know what I'm gonna name this. I don't know what I'm gonna name it. So with the 10 of Wands here, some of you guys need to take responsibility for your own oppression. Simple as that. You could have been betraying yourself by choosing to stay in a situation that felt secure when you knew it was not secure, whether it is a relationship, a friendship, a job, a home situation, even a mindset. You chose to stay in something that felt secure as opposed to really gaining true abundance and stability within your life. 10 wands here. Some of you guys have been dedicated to burdens. You got to let that go. 7 of wands here. Some of you guys are needing to be in the space of resisting that burden. You need to stand up for what you believe and lay the burdens down. You need to establish your strength and take action, Knight of Swords. But some of you guys are resisting this because you're burdened. Yeah, some of you guys are resisting laying down the burdens, even though you're in an unhealthy foundation or a discontent foundation. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Some of you guys with the 4 of Cups, you may miss an opportunity that could bring emotional fulfillment or that could create change within the situation. With the 7 of Wands, I'm hoping, I feel like you're resisting because 7 minus 10 is 3 wands, which is someone that is trying to have patience. But I feel like you're needing to be in the space of standing up for what you truly believe and not standing up for what others are making you believe. Some of you guys need to resist the traditional viewpoints of others who can only give you views based off the ascension that they have been in or that they are living in. Let me speak on that real quick, because I got for the weekly readings, I think I got like 2. I think it's only 2 that talk about unplugging from the mass consciousness. The mass consciousness is a system that was created to keep human beings in order, to keep you from veering off into the unknown. Basically, it's created out of fear. Just like most establishments in the world have been created out of fear, you know, medical establishments, the hospital system, to be honest with you, was created out of fear of people who were unable to cure their own ailments or disease, to be able to look to others to create. But in actuality, if you're in tune with your own body and in tune with nature, you're given everything you need to survive. Our ancestors survived without modern medicine, and modern medicine is legit a killer. If you look at the side effects of most of the even common, if you look at the side effects of Tylenol, you take 1 too many Tylenol, you dead, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Like legit, it destroys your liver, and there's no recovery from that. So even with common goddamn, you know, medicines, it can be harmful to you. So a lot of times, like I'm saying, those big establishments like the medical company, the religious structures that have been created is because people fear not knowing the path, or people fear not being able to connect. But every human being on earth has the ability to connect with the divine, has the ability to connect with God, because God is in each and every one of us directly. But because of people's fear of not being able to do that, or not having control of the masses in order to lead them, this is why those type of institutions have been created. The school system was created because people were afraid that they were unable to teach or guide their children. And a lot of it has to do with the bigger people in physical power, not in spiritual power, but the people in physical power wanting to kind of, you know, cattle. They want to herd you in a certain direction. From birth to death, if you are in a physical existence, there is something from birth to death to guide you through this existence, so that you don't have to connect with your own intuition or don't have to connect with your own spirituality. But in actuality, if you connect with your higher self, you don't need any institution to teach you anything, because everything will be given to you in the way that it needs to be. I've learned everything on my path through God, not through any religious institution, not through any type of structure that was created. Legit, I learned through God, through life experiences, through my own gifts that I have been given. So a lot of the times when we're dealing with people who are telling you things based off tradition or the Bible or what their grandma did, it's because this is what they've been taught. This is what they've been herded to be guided to. They're like sheep, and big companies are the motherfucking sheep herders. So you don't want to be that sheep. You want to be the one that steers off and lives on their own and survives in the greatest, freest way that you can. A lot of times we keep ourselves bound by, and even me at one point in my life, I stayed in a relationship because of my elderly people telling me that, well, you know, if you get married, you got to stay married forever, even though I was getting my ass beat. You feel what I'm trying to tell you? Like, in the worst situation possible. I was living with somebody's mom, getting my ass beat every motherfucking day. Could not work, could not go out, could not have no friends, being locked in my room type of shit. And I stayed in that because someone in my family told me that I had to stay by my husband. I wish you would now. Fuck out of here. Anyway, and I was even told by a person that I was in a relationship with that if I loved them, because love is supposed to be unconditional, which love is unconditional when it's in high vibration. I was not in a high vibration type of situation. I was told by this person that, and I quote, if you love me, you will suffer with me. That's not love. That's torture. So you really have to be within your own stable and strong mind about the decisions that you're making, because if you listen to other people, they're only going to speak to you based off whatever existence or whatever ascension they have met within their own life. People cannot give you advice on situations that they have not been through. People cannot give you advice on what they don't feel, because no one can feel what you feel. People can only give you advice from their perspective, from their point of view in life, and from wherever they've ascended to within their life. You have to make decisions for yourself. You have to make decisions for your own existence, or you're going to, listen, if you allow someone else to make decisions for your life, you might as well give them your life, because that means that you don't have a life. You have a life because you're the one that has to make decisions for it. If you don't live your life, it's like what I used to say when I started my channel. I used to say, if you're not you, then who the fuck are you going to be? In this life, if you're not you, who the fuck else you're going to be? Because, listen, everybody else is taken. You feel me? Everybody else has their own identity. You have to create or have your own identity within this life. You have to make decisions for you. So let's get some guidance here. Some of y'all need to take responsibility for your own oppression. And that's the name. If you're choosing to stay in an oppressive state, that is your responsibility to remove yourself from it. We cannot rely on anyone else to relieve our burdens but ourselves. By being discerning of what burdens you release, all burdens. You don't hold on to burdens. Even within my life, I have responsibilities that are aiding me toward a higher vibration within my career, within my life, within, my existence. But I don't have burdens. Okay, I do not choose to keep things that are in low vibration for me. Some of y'all dealing with a soulmate. What messages, what guidance do we have for the collective moving forward? And listen, just because it says this is a soulmate, soulmates are toxic. Some are toxic, some are in high vibration. It's according to the person. Even for those of you like, this is my divine, your divine can be toxic as fuck if they're in a low vibration. You have to choose to be within the best vibration for yourself. What messages do we have for the collective moving forward? What messages, what guidance do we have for the collective moving forward? What messages, what guidance do we have for the collective moving forward? Look at this. Unrequited love. It says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And that's within any relationship. It does not have to be romantic. It can be, but most of the time we get unrequited love, it's romantic. That means that you're in a situation where there's no reciprocity. That means that you're in a situation where somebody does not have the same amount or the same type of energy that you have for them. And it also could mean that you're giving to a situation where you're receiving nothing in return. So with that being said, underlying energy, pay attention to the red flags. It says the signs are cautioning you. Some of you guys are needing to be in the space of really going ahead and making the romantic gesture. That does not mean go ahead and tell this person I love you, even though you're aware that you're not receiving that love back. It's about making the gesture to express this situation is not within the highest vibration for myself. This is not reciprocal to the energy that I am putting out, and I need to choose to free myself or move away from the situation. Yes, this is a soulmate, but this soulmate, listen, this soulmate may not be the one that you desire. There may be chemistry. Chemistry and love are two different things. Some of you guys need to keep an open mind. That was the next card. It says your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectation. Now, some of you guys, to be honest with you, you have a romantic or you have a strong magnetic attraction chemistry here to a different soulmate, but you're in a space of dealing with unrequited love or a situation that is not in a high vibration or beneficial to you because you're afraid to express yourself or express what you truly feel. You need to speak your truth, especially with that King of Cups. The King of Cups understands what he has inside of him, but he needs to be able to speak it as well. This is all I have. Until next time, y'all. Peace.